If you want a quick shortcut to understanding BYD's aggressive future plans, you really only need two numbers:
Oh, yeah.
3.8 seconds and 25 minutes.
And those numbers are just brutal, aren't they? 3.8 is the blistering 0 to 100 kilometer per hour time for the new top trim.
And 25 minutes.
That's how fast it can charge, from 10% to 80%. Just incredible.
We are, of course, talking about the 2025 refresh of the BYD Seal. And this isn't just a minor update. This car feels like a declaration.
A statement of intent. It's a clear signal of where BYD is heading, especially in its fight with, the big names like the Tesla Model 3.
Exactly. So let's unpack this. Our mission for you, the learner, is to go beyond just the raw specs. We want to figure out what this specific car tells us about BYD's bigger strategy.
And their new definition of what a premium EV experience even is.
Right. Essentially, what future is BYD preparing with this new Seal?
Well, to figure that out, we went deep. We've got the launch details, technical analyses, and really crucially, real-world feedback from owners.
And it's interesting, sources confirm they kept the Seal name because enthusiasts loved it. They're listening.
They are. So we have a lot to work with, from the new ePlatform 3.0 Evo to direct comparisons against its biggest rival.
Okay, let's jump straight into the tech then, because that's where the strategy really comes into focus. The current Seal was already good, but this is where it gets, really interesting.
They're absolutely future-proofing this car.
How so?
The biggest move, the one that underpins everything else, is upgrading the entire electrical architecture. They've shifted from a 400-volt system to a full 800-volt platform.
Okay, 400 to 800 volts. For you listening, what's the simplest way to think about that leap?
Think of it like swapping your home's regular electrical outlet for a heavy-duty industrial circuit. You're not just getting more power, you're building a system that handles that power much more efficiently.
Especially for things like charging.
Especially for charging. And for high performance.
So what does that mean for the person actually driving the car? What's here?
It means a dramatic improvement in speed in two key areas. First, as you mentioned, is charging. That 800-volt system is what lets it go from 10% to 80% in just 25 minutes.
And the old one took, what, 37 minutes?
37 minutes, so that's a huge drop. It basically makes road tripping genuinely practical.
Okay, and when you're not plugged in?
You're flying.
Yeah.
The tech deep dives show this performance comes from a new 1200-volt silicon carbide control system.
SyncIC.
Right, yes, Syncus, paired with a motor that spins up to 23,000 RPM.
Explain the significance of that SyncIC, that silicon carbide.
It's a newer semiconductor material that's just much better than traditional silicon for high-voltage stuff. It manages heat way more effectively.
So less wasted energy.
Less wasted energy, and the components can be smaller and tougher. It's really the key to making that 800-volt system work so well.
And the result of all that engineering is, what, 390 kilowatts?
As a top all-wheel drive trim, yeah, that's over 520 horsepower. It hits 100 kilometers per hour in 3.8 seconds. Some sources even clocked it at 3.3.
That is just ridiculous speed.
It is. Yeah. And they're matching that power with a really solid structure. It uses their CTB, or cell-to-body technology, where the battery itself is part of the car's frame.
So it's more rigid.
Much more rigid.
Now, speaking of the ride and handling, the sources mention a new system, something to address, let's say, a known weakness of the last model.
Ah, yes. You're talking about DISA-C, the Intelligent Damping Body Control System.
That's the one.
It's fitted to the flagship models, and it's BYD's direct answer to feedback that the old all-wheel drive model could feel a bit bouncy at high speeds.
It's floaty, yeah.
Exactly. DISA-C electronically adapts the suspension in real time. It's about giving the Seal a proper, premium, settled ride quality.
Which is a huge deal. They're listening to feedback. Now, on the battery itself, there's a really fascinating detail in the sources about the size.
There was. You have two options, a 61 kilowatt-hour pack and a larger 80 kilowatt-hour one.
Okay.
But what's really interesting is that the biggest pack is actually a tiny bit smaller than the previous one. It went from 82.5 down to about 80.6.
That's very unusual. A smaller battery in a refresh. Why would they do that?
BYD hasn't given an official reason, but the speculation is that it's all about optimization.
Trading a little bit of range for something else.
Exactly. They traded about 9% of maximum range for the massive gain of cutting charging time by almost a third. It just shows you what their priority is.
It's the user experience. Convenience and speed over just having the biggest number on paper.
That seems to be the play.
Okay, moving beyond raw power, let's talk intelligence. The next big leap is in the driving assistance features.
Right, and the biggest clue here is A new piece of hardware you can see right on the roof.
The lidar sensor.
The lidar sensor. This is the first time a BYD sedan has had one, and its placement is very deliberate.
So what does that sensor actually unlock for the driver?
It massively boosts their D-Pilot 300 system. With lidar, you're now talking about real navigation on autopilot, or NOA, in cities and on the highway,
And automated parking, too.
and automated valet parking.
Hmm.
The car can handle much more complex situations on its own. It's just a smarter car.
Now, while the outside looks mostly the same, the sources say the cabin got a major overhaul. And this is where BYD seems to be making a strategic move against that minimalist trend.
Absolutely. This is BYD defining their version of premium. It's a mix of high-tech screens with, let's say, more traditional luxury touches.
Like the new steering wheel.
A very distinctive four-spoke, flat-bottom wheel. And they kept the big rotating center screen, which is sort of their signature.
But it's the small details that stood out to me in the reports, the things other car makers are getting rid of.
I agree. They're not cutting corners on the fundamentals. Every model gets 13 airbags and a head-up display as standard.
And the center console finish?
Yes. One owner in a forum said, switching from the glossy piano black to a new matte gray finish made the car finally look like a proper executive sedan, not a cheap sci-fi prop.
I love that. It shows they're paying attention to what it's like to actually live with the car.
And the new color options, that light purple exterior, the coral orange interior, it's about adding warmth and personality.
So this 2025 Seal really feels like a bridge then.
It's the perfect way to put it. It integrates the absolute cutting-edge tech, 800 volts lidar, into a design people already love before they launch their whole new design language.
Which is coming with the Seal 08 in 2026, right? The Ocean Aesthetic 2.0.
Exactly. They're proving the tech first.
Okay, so let's shift to the market, because this car is aimed squarely at the Tesla Model 3.
No question.
And while the original Seal wasn't a top 10 seller in China, it's been a huge success elsewhere. It was the best-selling EV in Malaysia for 4 months straight.
And that international success tells us a lot. When you look at all the consumer feedback, a clear pattern emerges.
Which is?
The Seal appeals to the buyer who wants a fantastic electric car that still feels like a high-quality traditional sedan. They're actively choosing to avoid extreme minimalism.
The reports were so specific on this, it's the physical buttons.
Physical buttons, proper indicator stalks, a traditional gear selector, a dedicated screen right in front of the driver.
All the things Tesla got rid of.
All the things Tesla got rid of. And on top of that, owners consistently say the build quality is better. They compare it favorably to BMW and Mercedes.
Wow.
And, critically, that it's quieter. Less road noise than even the updated Model 3 Highland.
So that preference for an ICE-like experience, that familiarity, is what BYD is betting on.
They're saying you don't have to give up comfort and luxury to get the latest tech. But, to be fair, we have to look at where Tesla still has an edge.
Of course.
The sources are clear. Tesla software is still top tier, especially its regenerative braking. And then there's the big one, the supercharger network.
Right. But how much does that network matter when BYD is offering 800-volt charging that can fill up in 25 minutes?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The supercharger network is still a huge psychological safety net for buyers.
I guarantee.
I guarantee, yeah. But if you can charge that fast on any capable public charger, the need for that exclusive network starts to fade. BYD is betting the public infrastructure will catch up to their car's capability.
And the early Seal had some software issues, right?
It did. People complained about the lane keep assist being too aggressive, too many chimes and alerts.
But that's fixable.
And they are fixing it. The sources say Wreath over-the-air updates have already smoothed out a lot of those early quirks. The platform is learning fast.
And then there's the price. In Italy, it starts around 47,000 euros. That's hugely competitive.
It is. And there's one more key advantage. The battery itself. BYD's Blade batteries are designed to be charged to 100% every day.
Whereas Tesla and others usually recommend capping it at 80% for daily use to preserve battery health.
Exactly. So that 100% tolerance makes a big difference to your usable everyday range.
So when you pull it all together,
The 2025 Seal isn't just a refresh. It is a strategic statement. BYD is answering that question. What future are you preparing? By showing they can combine ultra-fast tech with a premium, familiar driving experience.
they're offering a real alternative to the minimalist philosophy.
A technologically advanced but also comfortable and traditional alternative, yes.
That combination of cutting-edge tech and classic comfort is a really powerful story. It's what sets them apart.
Yes.
But it brings us back to their roadmap and a potential tension.
Okay.
We know the Seal 08 is coming in 2026 with that new Ocean Aesthetic 2.0 design.
Right.
Given how much people love the current design, so much that BYD kept the name and the clear preference for that ICE-like interior,
Mm-hmm.
it raises a really important question for you to think about. Will BYD's aggressive push for new designs and advanced platforms eventually force them to compromise on the familiar premium experience that today's Seal buyers clearly love so much?
Or can they keep both? Can they marry the future of 800-volt performance with the comfort of the past?
Exactly. That tension between progress and familiarity,
Hmm.
that feels like it's going to define the next few years in the EV space.
I think you're absolutely right.
Thank you for tuning into this deep dive. If you enjoyed this in-depth analysis of BYD's strategy, please follow the channel for more explorations into the tech that's shaping our world.